happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to Woodbine Racing Live. My name is Elisa Blow, joined as always by my good friend Jeff Bratt.
Now, hold on a second. Am I really your good friend?
Today we've had a few words.
We've had a few fights so far.
We've had a few words. We're a little cranky because we
Yes.
had a busy day yesterday. I mean, I got home and went right to bed.
Too, yeah, I did too. I had a quick bite to eat. I watched a couple from Mohawk, and that was
Of
about it
course
for
you
me.
did.
Yeah.
Of course you watched a couple from Mohawk. Yeah, busy day yesterday, and one of the highlights, of course, is the fact that nobody got that jackpot high five because it was just so wacky, right? It was so wacky with all long shots getting into the top 5 spots. So the carryover going into today's card is over $68,000.
The jackpot high five was hit though last night at the Tbreds.
Was it?
For $4 and change from an HBI bettor in New Brunswick.
Cool, that's good.
$70,000.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good for them. Very good.
That's like a very inexpensive ticket. It's a way to go because, you know, often those tickets, you know, they go to people that play a lot of like the 20 centers, a lot of different combinations, but this was just one simple ticket and have a payday like that. Do you know how nervous I would be if I cashed for $70,000? I'd be looking like this at the TV screen. Go official, go official, go official, go official.
Yeah, but this is how excited he is when we hit the pick 4 for $30. Come on, come on.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Yeah, we're still playing with their money today for our
true.
last pick 4, and we put together a really skinny ticket for this Sunday's program. We got a lot to talk about, Jeff. Of course, we have to go back to what happened yesterday. Now, yesterday was a beautiful day for horse racing, and we celebrated Canada Day with the Canada Day Festival of Racing. 5 stakes races. Boy, was it ever a speed track, and it didn't matter what surface you were on, the inner turf, the EP Taylor, or the main track.
Yeah, and you got to the front, and more often than not, you were in the right spot to be. And, you know, wind might have had an impact on that, for sure. I mean, a lot of the inside turf course races were 5 furlongs. So you know what the game plan is there. You get to the front, more often than not, you're not going to get past. But yeah, even in some of the like Ocean Club just kept on going. The horse that you liked, Fantastic again, was able to have some success.
I found both of those horses had very similar trips where other horses kind of came to them and then they just kicked into another gear. Yeah, really impressive wins. We'll start first with a look back at the Grade 3 Marine, and this one went to Mancetti. Pietro Moran getting back aboard.
You know, smart ride too. I think the key was he got the horse to relax, which is the key because we weren't so sure he wanted to go 2 turns in here. Scorching ran terrific in his comeback race, which was so nice to see. And what's great is the top 2 finishers are King's Plate bound.
Exactly.
So that's fantastic.
Yep, Megalodon with a 3rd place effort, and Sedbury's Ghost, who also could be headed towards the plate, finished in the 4th spot. Serendipity got the win for Josie Carroll back in race number 7, which was the Grade 3 Celine. You had Rafael Hernandez aboard this horse coming into the Josie Carroll outfit and was a real good looker.
Yeah, impeccably bred. And he just was able to walk the dog up front. And they just went the entire way up front, able to pull off the win. That's just the 3rd career start for that daughter of Street Sense, and now a stakes winner.
Yeah, and of course, you know, I was going to ask Josie, but she was so busy. You know, it just must be so amazing to look up the pedigrees on these horses. Well, here's an old pro, Patches O'Houlihan. Tough race for him yesterday, of course, after the race was completed, but he's a champ nonetheless, and drifting out here. And we've seen him do this before, Jeff, that he got the win in the Highlander nonetheless.
Yeah, no further updates. As far as we know, just a soft tissue injury. It might be career-ending, but not life-ending, which is terrific.
Very good.
And if that was the last time that we see him under racing circumstances, he leaves with a very gutsy effort.
He sure does, yeah. For what we heard yesterday, too, he was resting quite comfortably in his stall. Going to the Dominion Day, the Grade 3, of course, yesterday at 1 mile and an eighth. This was a cool ride. Anytime you have Victor Espinoza in town, you got to pay attention. And Fantastic again for Wesley Ward, kicked into another gear.
Stanley House with that.
He ran great.
Ran a tremendous race, only losing by 3/4 of a length.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And we only see that bit here once in a while. There's maybe 1 or 2 horses a year that'll wear that one, but it really did result in a good effort for Stanley House. And then the Nassau, Sofia Vivez won 2 stake races on the program yesterday. This one with Ocean Club for Tom Proctor at 12-1.
Yeah, just kept on going on the front end. She had some races from last season that made her very competitive against these, and I thought the Rogers horse ran great too.
Yes.
Ready for Shill, finishing in the 2nd place position. And how about Brandon Greer at Blueberry Fields finishes third at 65 to 1. That was a
Unbelievable.
clocker horse too, a couple weeks ago.
You know what's
Robert gave us that
interesting
one.
on that too? Daisuke Fukumoto was aboard on Blueberry Fields, and quietly, Daisuke Fukumoto has had a very good week.
Yes, you're right about that. He's brought in some prices. He's given some very clever rides.
Wins a race a day, it feels like.
Yeah, and you know, he is a guy that more often than not is going to be aboard 10 to 1 shots these days, and they get a pretty good shot to win the races. So, yep, you're right. He is riding very well right now. You have
what's going on?
goosebumps, literally.
I'm freezing, Jeff.
I thought maybe you were just a little flustered working with me or not. I wasn't sure what was going on.
No, you know, you've got the suit on. I'm freezing over here.
Well, we can turn on the heat if you want.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
I was going to say, I was a little starstruck yesterday, too, when I met Victor Espinosa.
Of course.
Wow. Like, I mean, this man's won everything,
Yeah.
right? What a cool guy. And I liked the line when I said, are we going to see you back in Canada? He says, if you guys keep giving me winners, I'll be back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you get winners, and it tends to make the passport a little bit more useful. But no, there's a guy that's had a very, very good career. Derby wins. If memory serves me correct, I think he lost his house in the terrible fires they had down in LA.
Did he?
Yeah, so I think they moved to Kentucky, him and his family. But and you know who Jerry Olguin's dad was very close to Victor Espinosa.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So they're kind of close.
We're all connected, you know, in this game. Looking back at what happened this morning, now it was a kind of a nice steamy morning, I thought. You know, not too bad for training. And look what they rated the track at. Ernie rated it at a 4.5. That's one of the highest ratings he's given it in a while.
Yeah, and we'll see if speed does well yet again here today as well. Inside was better today. He thought the inside was good yesterday. Now this Clocker horse is interesting because he was a disappointment in his comeback race. And I wonder if they're still thinking plate. Maybe they'll go the plate trial, maybe, possibly. And he says the best wagering race of the day coming up in a race number 10, big field evenly matched.
Yeah, that's the Jackpot High Five race. And
that is a good race. I kind of like Red Weaver in there, though.
I'm going with Velociraptor now that I know what it means.
Yeah.
So that's
you know what show you need to watch?
What's
Game
that,
of Thrones.
buddy? Oh, will you stop?
It's a great show. You should try it out
sometime.
sometime.
Is it, Jeff? Yeah, it's
really
amazing. You should read the book. Smarty pants over here. I told you, we're a little cranky. Could be an interesting show today. See if either one of us can make it through to the end. Yeah. All right, we got lots of things to talk about on today's card of racing. We'll start things off in the opener on the program. First race, a $15,000 maiden event traveling 5.5 furlongs. We get some first-time starters in the mix here for the opener as well.
Yeah, we do. Patrick Dixon represented here with Reach for the Top. That one's a full to Brookie's Bear, who was able to be stakes placed in Lady Angela Stakes. You got Gino Attari represented. He's done very well with his first-time starters as of late. And this one actually comes from a very good family. Pleasures Gold and Golden Vision out of this mare, debuting for just $15,000. But I guess the question is, how do we handle Sky Divine? You know, on paper has run some okay races at Gulfstream, and now it's kind of been freshened up a little bit. Very steady work tab coming in. The second place fish from that last race came back to win against main specialweight competition. I like the horse. I'm picking the horse, but I do find the rider selection a little bit interesting.
I was just going to say that too. This is a rider that this barn doesn't use hardly at all.
And nice to see Awesome get him a chance.
Yep, but he is a serious, or she is a serious gate wire threat with the speed that she has. So I'm going to pick against her though today. Tino's had a good week.
He has.
So I figure, what the heck? I'll use this first-time starter for Tino because Good as Gold. A lot of people will remember her. But she's been a great producer over the years too. This one is well related to quite a few stakes winners actually. Pleasures Gold, Golden Vision, Country Pleasure, all multiple stakes winners.
Yeah, and that gets the rail post position number 1. And I really think that Tino's got a nice horse, and that Wozniacki. I think they're going to make money with that horse.
Yep, ran very well yesterday against winners for the first time. So that's a look at the opener on the card today. There you go, buzzer. And we will go to the next race, which is race number 4. On the afternoon. Fourth race where we kick off the pick 4. We got a nice skinny pick 4 ticket for you today if you want to play along. I actually feel pretty good about it, don't you?
I hate to say it, but yeah, I do.
You know, we really, really agree there's like 2 horses in every, well, 2 horses single. But they, in my opinion, there's only really 2 horses to worry about in each legs, I think. And the ones you got to worry about here in race number 4 include the 1 Alley-Oop Johnny and the 2 Swan Lake.
Alley-Oop Johnny is just one of those horses. like if you coach basketball or hockey, you have that one player on the bench that you know is consistent.
Yep.
And you put them on the ice or the court and you say, just do your thing. And alley-oop Johnny will do it. Will he win all the time? No, but more often than not, he runs very well. But visually, the replay of Swan Lake last time out, this was something else, this turn of foot. June the 13th, it took place. We win by 4 lengths going away, and just, it was almost like the horse joined the race right now. You know?
Yeah.
Because, and right now, Ryan's kind of asking, and it takes him a little while to kind of get going, but once they straighten out here, he just absolutely flies home in here. And he just inhales them in this rate, like just past them so quickly, and he's really staying that stride nicely in here. I don't, listen, as a move up in class, yeah, but I'm not too worried about that. Just, I mean, he's just rolling right now. So I just I can't get that visual out of my head.
Pirouetting across the racetrack, as they say, pas de bourrée, pas de bourrée. Like I did take a little ballet in summer camp once.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm not the most graceful dancers, but yes, we're both going to go to Swan Lake in race number 4 of the program to kick off the pick 4, both of us. And I think we're going to find this is really similar. We have probably the same exactors in the next few sets of races.
You know what, Lisa, with Swan Lake, you've got just time for wine speed, Peja Du speed, Alley-oop Johnny speed, and we got one of the best closers in the race.
Yep, sets up for the closer. But again, speed has done very well over the last couple of days. Let's go to the next race, race number 5, 5.5 furlongs of distance, an optional 50, non-winners of 2. You know, remember last week when you were saying, what was that Gail Cox horse that she raced as a 2-year-old and kept picking up all these checks? We couldn't remember the name.
There it is.
Once I saw Kokomo, I'm like, that's the one, that's the one. You know, had an awful lot of second place efforts before finally breaking his maiden as a 2-year-old. But, you know, while all that's happening, he made 80 grand.
Yeah, and came back this year in the Woodstock tough spot, but bounced back with a much better race last time out and finished in 2nd and against Oscar Joy. So, yeah, Kokomo looks really good on this particular occasion. I'm going to land on Classy War. I'm trying to figure out why he ran so much better, and there's my angle. First time blinkers for the Cassie outfit, so maybe they kind of figured things out a little bit. That one's obviously going to move up in class. And then you have these 2 Gittins horses. They both won on opening day. They're both by
homebreds.
Well, one isn't. Vekoma was the Vekoma. They didn't pay a lot of money for that horse, though.
No.
The other one is by Jaeger. And the thing about So Delicious is Keve was on the inside, and he did like the 0 forward. He went inside and outside like that. So fast. And the horse showed a great deal of athleticism to pull off the win. Whereas Don't Go Back on Your Word just stayed on the inside and just kept on going. So who knows how good these 2 horses are going to be.
Well, and they caught us all looking, right?
Big
25 to 1, and with the other horse 10 to 1 on Don't Go Back on Your Word. Yeah, it's interesting because sometimes, like, first of all, the sire kind of turned me off a bit on the So Delicious horse, and then the fact that the Vekoma was purchased for only 6,500 kind of turned me off there too. But they ended up running big.
I like those Vekomas a lot.
They're great horses. They certainly are. All right, let's go to the 6th race. It's an optional $40,000 claimer going 3/4 of a mile. You Be the Judge was entered to compete yesterday, scratched out of the race yesterday to go here instead. I like the spot for him today. Or for her today. She's a Jimmy Creed, and you know what they say about those words. Jimmy Creed for speed.
Yeah.
And I think Shadow Realm, though, for Sittard has a great opportunity to jump up and get the win here.
I'm with you. I mean, runs against a really good horse last time out, and a horse that came back to run well against stakes competition yesterday. Very respectable performance. So absolutely no shame in losing that one. So we'll take a look at the replay now with Shadow Realm, because you know, it just seemed like it took him a little while to kind of get going in this race, and the eventual winner has a wide trip. So there's a look at our subject horse, and I'll identify the winner for you as well once we lose that. It's the winner is right here on the outside. But even right now, like, we're kind of putting the brakes on right now. I don't know if Pietro wasn't really happy with being on the inside, if he was trying to say, okay, if I put the brakes on, I might be able to get towards the outside, because now he has to kind of re-engage now, and now he's like, where do I go? Okay, let's see him looking. Yeah, let's split. Let's see if that possibly works out in here. So here's the eventual winner. But once he finally, this horse gets comfortable and gets going, it's a really good kick. Like really, really nice. And the sire's had a lot of success as of late. and he's rolling right now at this point of the race. And this was at 6 furlongs. I would love it for it to be a little bit further here today, but beggars can't be choosers. And the Shuttle Realm is going to be my topic, albeit at a low price coming up in race number 6.
Sid's doing really well with these signature reds this week. This week has been a really good week, and you and I again with the same exact.
And you know, I didn't realize he also has some quarter horses that he's bred, signature red.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh? Isn't that interesting? I really, you're shocking me right now.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that happened.
Yep.
The other horse I tossed in is little Alexa Fertino. You know, in off of a win, debut win.
Yep.
The second place finisher came back to win as well. You've got the 3 Alpha Caden because the barn's rolling.
Everything they do right now is going really well at this point. So. Yeah, no, and then you've got 4 strong wins. You might need that comeback race. Now is in for 40,000. Speaking of Sean and Dorothy Fitzhenry, your horse Tom's Magic looked pretty good winning the other day yesterday at Monmouth, and that's a Justify that might be coming up for the plate.
Well, he's plate eligible, but I don't think we've seen him on synthetic, only on turf. But as we know, that should transfer over. So who knows? Maybe we'll see him come up here for the plate. We still have quite a bit of time.
We do.
So race number 8 is where we go next. The 8th race, the optional 50, going 3/4 of a mile. And in this race, we have a field of 7. Now, Junior Hotshot is a horse here for John Ross. By the way, we should say a very happy birthday to Gord Ross, who I know is watching today. Gord is one of our hardest working gate crew personnel.
If I'm ever in a bar fight, he's the man I want to have with
guaranteed.
me.
I'd stand right behind him.
Yeah. Gord, I have a problem. And you know who else is having a birthday today at Woodbine? He's turning 50 is Mr. Good Luck to Everybody. Rico Rosa da Silva is turning 50 today.
Awesome. All right. Didn't we have this conversation about who, no, I don't think we had it on camera, but about who you'd rather be in a bar fight with, on your side, the Dunslows or the Rosses? Remember? And the Dunslows are scrappers.
They are.
You know, but the Rosses
the Ross boys are big guys.
They're big, solid boys.
Yeah.
I'll take either one.
Let's make it a pay-per-view event. So what's interesting about this race is that John's got It's Time to Shine, Speed Horse, and Junior Hotshot, Speed Horse.
I know.
So something's got to give, and It's Time to Shine. They looked yesterday at the stake. They elected not to go, which is probably a wise move.
A good idea.
They're going to go in here. I kind of like Paint the Town Silver in here. I'd like the way the horses work and come in this spot. I'm going to get a bit of a price in here. I'm trying to be a bit of a wise guy kind of late in the card here in a couple of races.
Yeah, I went to It's Time to Shine as well. But then this Oscar Joy is quite interesting. That's a really nice win for the first start up here at Woodbine and getting along quite well with Pietro Moran, who's riding more and more from Art Cassie.
Yeah, boy, he's riding really well right now for anybody.
Simple. Yeah, it doesn't really matter who gets him.
A couple really smart rides as of late.
Absolutely. So race number 8 will kick off the final pick 3 on the program. Still have 20 seconds. Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, anything else in this race? Well, what do we do with Speed Figures? Because remember how disappointing that horse was last time? You really liked that horse going 5/8, and he just stopped. There's another Speed horse to toss in the mix. Then you got Makwa, Speed horse. I mean, there's a lot of pace in this race.
That's true.
And the thing with Junior Hotshot, they've kind of been shopping around for spots. I think if memory serves me correctly, this horse has been on the MTOs a lot and has been able to draw in.
Well, the other interesting thing is the jocks switch there. Because Makwa gets Sophia now, and Samuel goes to the 7. So that's a little bit of a swap-a-roo. Let's go to, what are we talking about next? I got to check this script out. Race number 9 on today's card to kick off the late double. Now, this is the second leg of the Turf Sprint Series, an optional 40 or starter for 40, going 3/4 on the E.P. Taylor turf course. And Donnie McRae, of course, has one of his superstars in this race, and that's Light the Lamp. Light the Lamp is great at 5/8. I mean, that horse got up just in time to beat Silent Reserve. I'm a slightly concerned maybe about 3/4 here today. I think Armstrong, on paper, at least should be a horse that will benefit from the 3/4 distance.
So I looked up the stats with Light the Lamp. In his career, only once has he run on the E.P. Taylor turf course, and it was October of 2023, and it was 24-1. He just missed a border town on that day. Now, I'm going to sound like Don Cherry right now. Kids never give up in life, and that's what Pietro does right here. And this is a good replay because Silent Reserve's on the program earlier on. And Silent Reserve is a 5 furlong inside turf course specialist. And he tends to get a little bit tired about halfway down the stretch, and he just hopes he opens up a big enough lead. But look at Pietro. I think he knew that this horse was suspect on the outside, and he just says, I'll just stay here and I'll just keep grinding. Maybe we get up, and they get up just in the nick of time in here. Like,
look at this horse digging.
I know, just keeps, and look how far back they are to everybody else.
I know. You know, I think on that day, Light the Lamp had a slight advantage too because the horse had already raced once.
I agree.
Whereas Silent Reserve was making the first start of the season. Now we love Silent Reserve today. We're going to make that horse a key in race number 7 on the card. But yeah, this is an interesting one. Look at this. Lots of different selections on the board for this race. What have the handicappers got? Doug's got the 1.
I'm with him.
He's a lovely horse. Yeah,
and he won on this course last year and then lost it through disqualification. And the thing is, too, he's in the same boat as Silent Reserve. That was the first start of the campaign. Now he has that race under his belt, so it could be a little bit better. And look who's riding. We've got our good man, Daisuke Fukumoto.
Daisuke Fukumoto's won 1 race every day all week, so he's should be good for 1 on today's program.
He's like the vitamin guy. 1 a day.
Just 1 a day. Hey, that's not a bad paycheck at the end of the week. So there you go. Race number 9.
Hold on. I got to put the inquiry sign up on something. Your horse is in this race, Fighter in the Wind.
But it's a tough spot. This is a tough spot.
All right.
I mean, look, I love him in those optional 15s of the 7 starters, but he's playing with the big dogs here today.
Hey, he's kind of playing with house money, too, because he won last time.
Such a cool horse, though.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a horse who's game. He sure is. Race number 10 is how we wrap things up with the jackpot high 5, and as Ernie Perry had pointed out, he thinks this is a really evenly matched race. I find this a really hard one to sort through. The carryover more than $68,000. I kind of waffled back and forth, Jeff. I was going to use the 4 Red Weaver up on top. First start of the season for a signature red here. Sophia Vivez taking over for Hall of Famer Bob Tiller. But then I thought, you know, we've been talking so much about Velociraptors. Maybe I would use this guy here today as well. How'd you see it?
Well, it gets into an easier spot. That should help out the situation for sure. And I don't think the cutback in distance is going to be a problem for him as well. I did go towards Red Weaver because of the signature red factor, getting onto the turf, and did disappoint as the favorite to wrap up last season. The problem with this particular race, Lisa, is we're in lane 3, we're going 5, and I think the outside posts are really up against him in here. Because that turn's going to happen so fast, and unless you think you can clear, like you have to have like 20 and change opening quarter speed to clear from the outside. Unless you can clear, I'm going to play a little bit of a smart aleck ticket in here and maybe box all the inside posts.
That's not a bad idea.
Or something like that, and see if maybe that pays off.
Yeah, I mean the only outside horse I don't mind using is the 9, Fighting the Wars, because it's Cassie, right? Like I'm not sure what we're going to do with these first-time starters. The first-time starter
Sundays
on the outside and the other horse that draws in from the also eligible list. But this could be another one where we get some minor upsets.
Could happen.
You know, for the jackpot high 5. And yesterday, that's exactly what we had. I mean, we had a 12-1 winner. We had like a 64-1 horse get into the mix as well. It was all long shots. The favorites were completely off the board.
Yeah, no, there were some, like, I can't believe Caitlin Her Greatness ran that poorly. That was really, really puzzling.
Yeah, me neither.
Maybe there's an excuse that we're going to find out.
I'm sure there is, and I'm sure we can find out what it was as well. But, you know, it wasn't the race that we expected from her. Plays of the day for you on today's 10-race program. Jeff is going to start us off.
Okay, what do we got here today? My best bet is going to be Shuttle Realm coming up in the 6th. Then we got a couple of price plays and a long shot. Rolling Snake Eyes with Paint the Town Silver and Forester's Fortune. And then we're going to do a little Dream Weaver.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
With Red Weaver coming up in race number 10. You know that song will be on the old YouTube today.
I know that song. Oh, my God. You're amazing, Jeff. You're absolutely amazing. What do I have? Well, Master Spy.
I love Master Spy, too,
Come on. If you can't beat them, join them. That's what I say.
I like Master Spy
for Adamo. Silent Reserve, my key in the for the late pick 4. The late pick 4 key and the early pick 4. I'm good with that. Just key the horse. Shadow Realm is my best bet of the day today, and Velociraptor. Do you know what sound a Velociraptor would make? I'm going to win place with that one. See, now we're into the part where first we start off a little cranky because we're tired. Now we're into the kooky stage where it's just all. Then by race 7, I'll get the giggles and it'll all be over. Master Spy top selection for Doug McPherson. Red Weaver a top selection for our buddy Ron Gearkink with the daily racing form, and Fighting the Wars is our Woodbine TV producer.
Who is a substitute today.
Yes, a sub.
When the sub teacher comes to play, the kids will have some fun. So
we've already told them we're taking several races off.
1, 2, 8, 9, and 10 we're taking off.
Yeah. But the teacher told us we can do that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
4-1 right on that one. Clockers for today. What have we got?
We got 2.
We got 2, eh, Jeffy? You're going to have to tell me
No
what
problems.
we have.
We've got
Where's my
Deputy
program?
Ghost coming up in the 3rd. So this is a first-time starter for Conditioner Patrick Dixon. And Deputy Ghost is by Shaman Ghost. And he had a winner yesterday, I think, as a sire. And this one outworked a couple of mates. And the previous work back on June the 15th was quicker from a time standpoint. And then Devin Gittins coming up a little bit later on the program, all the way to race number 10, the number 3 Payne's Spirit. Now this barn can strike with a first-time starter, and surprise, surprise, another Shaman's Ghost as well. And this is a homebred for 2 Points Ranch, and outworked Fog Dioro, who ran not bad first time.
Yeah, that was Sunday, I think. Last Sunday's program. Alrighty.
I like those clocker horses with the first timers. That's when I really love.
That's when you need to know
Ernie's information.
Exactly, because we're not necessarily. Look, Jeff doesn't get up at 6 in the morning.
Oh, and you do?
I did today. had to make the dogs something to eat.
That's right. That's right.
Alrighty, what else do we have for you? Well, we actually have an interview coming up, which is something a little different. Robert's going to interview Gunnar Lindbergh.
Your friend Leslie McCormick's calling, by the way.
They
Does she not know that we do the show at this time?
They always phone when we're doing TV shows. What was I going to say? Yeah, Robert's going to interview. Now I'm all thrown off.
Gunnar Lindbergh.
Gunnar Lindbergh, of course, who won the Avellino Gomez Award last year, and also is one of our great stewards here at Woodbine, who is enjoying his very last day at the office. We've got 26 minutes to go before race number 1. We'll take a quick commercial break and catch up with those guys next.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
And they're into the lane. Funny Side confronted by Cryptograph. And it's those two who arrive at the 8th pole together. Funny Side's gallant to the inside. On the outside, Cryptograph. Funny Side, a heart as big as the grandstand. No One's Cat is closing late, but it is Funny Side. Funny Side has done it. Picture perfect in the Dominion Day Stakes, a place photo between Cryptograph and Nolan's Cat.
The last time we had a stakes race on the dirt.
Yes.
It's kind of fun to look back at it too.
Yeah, very rarely do we get a Kentucky Derby winner coming up to Woodbine too, so that was kind of cool. You know
I saw him in Saratoga, it was amazing.
I bet you Gunnar Lindbergh was there that day.
Oh, I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was, and Gunner's joining us. Gunner, it's the last day of school for you today as you head off into the sunset to retire, but with an armful of trophies and a whole bunch of stories to talk about when you're sitting around on the lake.
You guys see our man, he's always sharp too. Gunnar Lindbergh's always sharply dressed.
Of course he is.
Oh, he looks
Look at
fantastic. Hey, Gunnar, how are you? Are you going to miss us, buddy?
Yeah, Elisa, Jeff, you guys are always a pair. I miss your banter.
You know what I always like, and I was going to tell you this upstairs, Gunnar, but I might as well tell it to you straight right here. You were always extremely fair. You know, anytime that I had an issue that I needed to talk to a steward about, you were always the one that I wanted to talk to because you were always very fair. Thank you very much for that, Gunnar.
Well, thank you for that comment.
I want to look back at your riding career, first of all, Gunnar. When you first started here as a young kid, could you ever have imagined that you would have spent your whole career in the horse racing industry?
Well, I'll tell you, Jeff, it was always a passion of mine. And I mean, it goes back some 60 years now, where I used to bike into the track every day when I was 10 years old. And I rode my first race here in May 30th, 1973, at the age of 16. And it's always been my love.
And you've done a great job, you know, and that's one thing too. You moved on. I won't hold it against you that you took away my best friend on the broadcast, that being Jason Portwando. Now I have a new best friend, Lisa. But have you taken pride too in the fact that as a rider you've mentored so many young riders, and now as a steward you've mentored some young stewards as well?
Absolutely. That's why I actually stuck around a little bit longer. I knew we had a bit of a succession plan here, and I wanted to be here to help those people make the transition.
You've seen a lot of changes over the years.
Look at this
Gunner.
young guy.
Oh my
Look
goodness.
at the head of hair on you there, Gunner. Holy smokes. Wow.
That's a
And
few
you know-
years ago.
And of course, Gunner's father was a jock. His sister, Candy Davies, very active, still at Fort Erie. His brother-in-law, Norm Davies, was a jock as well. I mean, what's the plans now? We're heading up to Wasaga, is that what I hear?
No, actually, we're heading out to a little town called Bayfield out in Lake Huron. And it's time for a new adventure. I just think after 59 years, it's my wife and I, it's time for us to move on and do something together and enjoy the fruits of our labor.
We still keep an eye on the game, like we still check the results and watch the odd race from time to time?
We'll watch the big races. I'm not sure how involved I'll be going forward, but I won't be a stranger, that's for sure.
Good, absolutely, because we would certainly miss you. But I'm sure we'll see you on Avelina Gomez Day as well, and congratulations on that award that you received last year. Have a great day, Gunner. I understand that you're going to have a lot of visitors upstairs today to say goodbye as well, and we'll be up there to say goodbye too. So just 21
Well, I'll tell you, I
minutes
was
to go.
trying to get out of here and ride off into the set on a quiet note, but nobody's allowing that right now, and I'm feeling a lot of love, believe me, from all my friends and colleagues, and it's overwhelming and humbling, I tell you.
Well,
all the best, Gunner.
All the best, buddy. Yep, 21 minutes to go before race number 1 on the program here today from Woodbine. Good luck with your selections.